Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Mohammed Shuaib, and today in this tutorial with you, we'll learn how we can integrate PLC, RTU, or DCS controller with the REST APIs. So, in the practically, we have multiple platforms that can support the REST APIs. For example, the web application, mobile application, IoT platform, different type of IoT platform, different type of data integration platform, MES system, ERP system, and many type of SCADA also can support the REST APIs. So in this particular tutorial, we'll use KEPServerEX as a gateway to configure the REST APIs. So in this tutorial, we have the two part. In the first part, we'll configure KEPServer as a Modbus TCP client. And in the second part, we'll configure KEPServer as a REST API server. So our how data flow will be there. Data, our KEPServerEX will work as a Modbus TCP client. It fetch data from the PLC RRTU controllers, and then the same data it will push over the REST API server, and from the any of the API client application, we can fetch those data. We'll see in detail the whole steps. So let's see how we can configure it. So we'll open the Kep server EX configuration. So first step, we'll create a new channel and we'll configure a Modbus TCP. Let's select the Modbus TCP Ethernet. Click Next, and then just write the name of the channel. Suppose I will put it Modbus channel 1. Click Add Next, and then click Next. I will use the default adapter. Click Next, click Next. Just keep it default. These are all settings, and click at Finish. So click here to add a device. I put just simple device name, device 1. Click Next, and then click Next. Here I have to put the IP address. For my case, my Modbus TCP server IP address is 192.168.0.100, and the slave ID is 1. Click at Next, then again Next, Next. Just put it default these all settings. Click at Next, again Next, Next, Finish. So now we'll create here some tags. Double click here. I will add a tag. Suppose AI tag, and I want to read some more. And address will be 100, and just keep it default. And this is as AI. I will put it read only. I will create a new one more tag, that is AO tag. And address one tag and retry. Okay. I'll add on one more tag. Here BI binary input tag, and I want to select this one, and my address is 100, so I will put it 100, and this is BI, I'll say read only, and then BO, then and select binary, and 110 is for the binary commands. So here I configure some digital input output, analog input output tags. So that's it. Now I will just click here to see I'm able to communicate, and I'm getting the data in my all of tag or not. So here as you can see, I'm getting the same value here. So I'm able to communicate, but if I will put it through, so I'm able to get a data here. And if I want to write some value, suppose it's 1,4. So here you can see I'm successfully able to get the data. So I close it to no. So the first step, Modbus TCP client configuration in the KEPServerEX was successfully completed. Now we'll move toward the second step. So we will configure KEPServerEX as a REST API server. For that, you have to come here in IoT Gateway, click here Add Agent, and I will put the name REST Server 1 and select it here from the REST server. Click at Next. In this tutorial, I'm not using HTTPS request. I will click allow anonymously. Here you can select it any of the settings, default, or if like your REST API client is not in the same machine. So in that case, you can select this option, and in the remote other area, the other system you can fetch, you can access this server through this IP address. For testing purpose, I'm just putting the local host only, and you have to copy this. Right click. You have to copy it actually. Copy this address will use in the later configuration. Then just click at finish. So as you can see, it's successfully my REST API server is running. If your REST API server is not running properly and you are getting the error, if you are getting such error like fail to launch IoT gateway, no suitable 32-bit Java runtime application. So you have, in that case, you have to install first the Java runtime 32-bit version, and after that, that problem will be fixed. So our case now, our REST API server is working perfectly. Now the second step will add the text. Here, click here the add IoT items, and after that, we will navigate to this is our Modbus TCP client, and this is my device. And I will select all tag and click apply. OK. So now my all tag is add inside the my REST API server. OK. So that's it. Our REST API server side configuration, and few more configuration we have to just keep the check, configure API services. Yes, it should be enabled. Yes, this both options should be true. Okay. Now we already configure our REST API server in KEPServerEX. So now we'll use the REST API client. And for this tutorial, I will use the Postman application. So our REST API application is open now. So click here. So in REST API, we have some commands is there. Those commands we ask we tell the request. Actually, what how actually is work? Like in actually, what is the HTTP? The HTTP stand for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Is designed to enable communication between client and servers. In our particular in this example, this Postman application is work as a client, and our kept server work as a server. HTTP work as a request response protocol between client and server. So how HTTPS work? Like a client, like Postmaster, send a HTTP request to server, then kept server that work as a REST API server return a response to client. The response contain a status information about the request and may also contain the request content. In the HTTP request, we have some multiple method is there. Like as you can see here, we have the get request, post request, put, patch, delete, had options, multiple requests. But in this tutorial, we'll focus only get and post. So actually, what is a get method or request? Get is a use to request data from a specific resources. So actually, uh, get method is used to get the data from the REST API server. And similar manner, post method will use to send data to our REST API server. So in the other way, we'll use get request or method to fetch data from our REST API server for the analog input and binary input signal. So suppose we want to read data from the Modbus TCP where tags data in the REST API. So we'll use the get function for the analog input and binary input. And the post request or method will use to write a value inside our analog and binary tag like AO and BO. So in the first step, we'll read our AI tag data. So here I will right click and paste control V. This already while I was configuring, I just copy this address, same from here. If you come here in property and server, this same address I copied. Now, if I want to read data from REST API server. So first I have to put this that I copy the URL, and after that I have to put read, then question mark, and after that IDs equal sign, and after that I have to put the whole my tag name. Okay, for this case I have the, as you can see upside, the Modbus TCP C1 device 1 AI tag. So I will put it same here, Modbus C1 dot device 1 dot AI and so tag, and then press the send button. So as you can see, I receive data from my CAP server. So if I will compare this data with my Modbus TCP, so as you can see, it's near to same. I will fetch it again. I just put it upside so we can compare both of them. So I will send again request. So you can see the updated data I received. So as you can see, the V value and here the data is same. If I will refresh again, so we'll get the same data. So in the JSON format, we are successfully able to read the data. So as you can see now here, I have the binary value is true. Now I will here just put BI and send the request. So as you can see, I'm getting the this true value. I will put it false, or and I will again send the request. So as you can see now I'm getting the false value. Okay, so now I want to send the my command signal. So for that I have to change little bit. I will right. So you have to the your REST API server URL, and after that you have to write the right. Before that we was doing the read function. Now we are going to write the write the function. Okay, and after that better I will uh, just copy it and I will use a new post. I will just paste it. Then come here in the header area, and we have to here write the content type, and here application.json. Okay, this is the first step. Key should be the content type and the value should be application.json. And after that, you have come here in the body, select the row, and then from here, this list, you have to select the JSON. And after that, you have to write this script ID, and then we have to put our tag name. I will put my tag name Modbus C1 dot device 1 AO. So tab, after that, comma, then V for value, and then our value. What value you want to write. And we click here in the after that send button. So as you can see, we get the OK response. So as you can see, the 47 value we send, the value is right now 47. Suppose I will change some value. I will put 4 1 and I will send it. So here you can see the same value I'm getting. So now next I will write a binary command signal. Here you can see address in the coil status. Address 110 is 0. So now here I will just put it DO and the value should be true, and just send the command. And now you can see we are successfully able to receive from REST API command signal inside our Modbus TCP server or the PLC controller. So we'll learn how we can configure KEP server as a gateway in between to our Modbus TCP client, server or our PLC controller and the REST API client application. So like that, we can configure KEP server if you want to configure to KEP server as a REST API. Thanks for watching this video.